We are in episode number, I don't know what, right?
I don't know what either.
Anyway, we are Between Two Amy's. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Spotify, Anchor, and, Instagram. Not real videos on Instagram, just us having some fun. Usually there's somebody between us. Today, we're having a little bit of skin cancer between us. Sorry. Okay, and before I start on this whole thing, this is why I'm wearing this too. This is my skin cancer robe that I adorn myself with. But you guys, I made a post today, and Lord have mercy. So that was the skin cancer I had about 4 years ago on top of my head. So I took a picture of that and showed you that this morning. I am having surgery on Monday. This is not a woe is me. Oh, I feel so sorry for Amy, Mom.
Just let everything you pour in. She needs gifts, wine, all kinds of things. Just start sending them her way. She needs it.
Shut up. Well, I'm not going to turn wine down.
So.
Let's don't lie. But I'm not doing this to get attention or to feel sorry for Amy. This is more about my public service announcement for what you guys need to know about. I saw something on Facebook a few weeks ago, right after we'll talk about this treatment that I had done, and I'm like, these people don't know what's going on.
Right.
Like, they don't have a clue what's going on with skin cancer. So let's do a podcast about that, because that's actually something I do know about. Anyway, so yeah, please, I'm okay. I'll be okay. It's gonna hurt like a bitch, but that's okay. I broke my foot this week, so I am completely out of commission. I'm basically
after this. You should be good for a while.
Do you know
it does happen in threes. Though.
Oh my God!
Sorry.
Don't say that. Do you know that song? The old gray mare, she ain't what she used to be. Ain't what
she used to be.
That's me. Sorry, Wells. Anyway, so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about skin cancer today.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a fun subject, but it's the damn truth and is real.
That's right. And I know it is bright in here, but you've got the glasses and the hat on for another reason.
I have the UV glasses that you're supposed to wear.
It protects your eyes.
Yes. And I always have people go, why do you wear those hats all the time? I mean, is that is it fashion, or is it for,
other purpose? Yeah.
I'm like, when you see me on the lake, I look like ridiculous because I have long sleeves on and leggings.
You're like basically in a scuba,
I'm basically in a scuba gear. Yeah. And is it hot? Hell yes, it's hot. It's hot. But, I mean, I kind of protect myself at all times, usually. Does it suck? Yes, it does suck, but I highly recommend it. So anyway.
Covering up is a good idea. Protecting your eyes. What besides, what kind of sun damage can be caused to your eyes?
Well, they say if you do not wear UV protected eye gear, that you can get cancer in your eyes.
That's what I was leading to, but I didn't want to sound like I was asking the most ridiculous question.
No,
it can happen.
Mm-hmm. You can.
Wow, that's scary to think about.
Now I'm going to take off my lovely glasses and I'm going to read you guys some statistics, and please feel free to ask me any questions.
Well, I was already thinking, how long, you're obviously a fair-skinned person. You've always been probably a fair-skinned person. Could you, at one point, like some people say when they were much younger, they could tan pretty easily, but you were always fair.
Nope, I'm always fair. My mother, thank you, Mom, gave me this fair white skin. My dad is pretty dark, although even my dad, who is very dark, has really pretty skin, has had melanoma in his ear.
In his ear?
In his ear, and they cut it all the way through his ear. So they did that, I think that was either last year or the year before. So, and I'm standing up right now because I don't want to go there.
Well, when you sit down in these seats, the mic's like...
I know. I'm just standing up because it's more comfortable, and I
do have your egg sitter we can move over here if you need it.
Granny, we got an egg sitter for you. Anyway, no, all skin types can get it, but definitely the fair skin
are more prone to it. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Does DNA play a factor too? Okay, because you said your dad had melanoma, which is the most dangerous form.
Yes.
So
my mom has it.
My
mom had it on top of her head, and she had a fairly big hole cut out on top of her head.
Oh my gosh. So
and
if you
guess
know
what
people-
happens and guess what, how she found it? Her hairdresser found it. So you ladies that are cutting hair, it would be like if you see what I'm about to show you in somebody's scalp, please let them know.
Wow.
Because a lot of times
You
you
can't
don't
see
even
your
know.
own scalp.
Right.
You
You just think it's maybe a bug bite or something.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I thought. I thought I
Okay.
had a bug bite.
Okay.
So that's how they found mine too. So, first of all, we'll talk about dermatologists a little bit.
Okay.
Let's go over that really quickly because that seemed to be the hot topic. I'll take my hat off.
Okay.
Because that's kind of hard to see with my hat on. I know I look so pretty right now. So dermatology seems to be the hot topic in Auburn, and we do have several dermatologists. I have not had very much luck with them.
Okay.
Not saying that we don't have any good dermatologists, but I choose to drive. Well, I won't go there right now, but I've had a bad experience, and I was diagnosed wrong in Auburn, and that led to 18 stitches in my bottom lip about 3 years ago. So I've had 2 cancer surgeries, one on top of my head and one on my lip, and then on Monday it'll be on my lip again.
Is it the same spot?
No, upper lip this time, lower lip
okay.
last time, 2 different kinds of cancers. So,
Oh,
yeah.
Do you want to go ahead and go into that?
So
with the 2 different.
well, there's melanoma, which
Yeah.
is bad, and I haven't shown. That's the quickest growing cancer.
Right. Aggressive.
Very aggressive, and then you have squamous, which is something that I'll show you because it's really hard to detect squamous. I mean, I'm pretty good at it, and I missed a couple spots this past time. And then you have basal. So,
Okay.
and there's those are the 3 main ones. And then there's weird kinds of skin cancer that I don't know anything about, so therefore I don't feel comfortable talking about it.
All right.
But yeah, so I've had squamous and basal.
Okay. And basil's not. It is more or less benign, right?
No, it's skin cancer. It has to be taken out. So,
Right.
and and as best of my way to describe it, it does have roots and it can connect
okay.
itself. That's why I had to cut so deep into my lip.
Oh my goodness.
So please, when you're going to the dermatologist, here's one little fact that I will say. When you're sitting in the room waiting for 2 hours, because they do take a long time, because they don't know what they're going to have to cut off or burn off in front of the person in front of you. So be ready to be a little bit patient with that. But when they walk in the door and they go, hey, you got any spots you want me to look at? No, sir. No, ma'am. Whatever you are, they're in charge of looking at your body, not you telling them. I mean,
Because you're not the
hell,
expert.
you don't know
No.
what they're looking
Right.
at, and they need to be checking you out. And that's what the good ones do. So make sure that is getting done, and don't let them get away, even if you're scared about it. Don't let them. Get away with not doing that. So, funny story. I was born, and this is funny.
I'm ready to laugh.
I was
Wells is
born in
like-
a pretty strict, very conservative household.
Oh, that is funny.
It is it's pretty funny right now. So I don't know how it turned out the way I did. So
You gone rogue.
I went rogue on everybody.
Yeah.
And I was not allowed to wear 2-piece.
For like into your teenage years too?
Oh yeah, no 2-pieces.
Oh man.
So my stomach.
Excuse me.
I was so sexy. My dad probably goes, and nobody need to see that white stomach. So no,
Aw.
he was very conservative. So I was not allowed to wear a 2-piece. So my stomach has absolutely no.
never seen the sun.
No, never seen the sun. Because by the time I started wearing 2-pieces, I was in my 30s, and I just wasn't laying out in the sun like I
Right.
did growing up. So I wasn't allowed to wear my 2-piece in my 20s either. But that's for another
I
reason.
bet that's I could guess.
Somebody who's controlling. But anyway, that's a whole nother.
Oh, another podcast.
Anyway, but that's a fun little thing to know. If you're completely covered up for years, you're not gonna have an issue. Like,
Right. Which kind of crazy.
isn't
like,
it crazy? Like,
I don't know. It's just kind of scary because you go outside all the time. I mean, it's hot. But we're outside. We got to go outside.
Yeah.
For whatever reasons. And I mean, I put sunscreen on my face every morning, but it's not like I reply it every 2 hours.
No.
And even if I'm just outside running errands or whatever, it's crazy to just think about all that exposure.
yeah.
Day to day.
And most of mine is like from years ago,
Yeah.
So that's definitely a problem. So also too, and another reason why I wear the longer stuff is because sunscreen doesn't protect you from everything.
Right.
I mean, the little Wellesley here behind the voice of behind us, he gets burned with full sunscreen on. Do you not? Say it.
If I apply it correctly, I don't.
But you usually do. I mean, you can get skin cancer. I mean, and you know what? Some people out there, there's like a conspiracy theory against sunscreen, saying that the chemicals in the sunscreen
are more
harmful as well. So all these things that you can believe. But what I do know is my ass has skin cancer, and I'm going to show you what it looks like close up. And then you have any questions, feel free to ask me.
I'll chime in.
So. Definitely, we're going to go over who gets it. Then definitely the majority of people who get it are my skin, like my skin. Fair skin, light color eyes, and a history of family skin cancer, which I have it on both parents.
Apparently so.
A history of excessive sun exposure or blistering, which I did. I mean, I can remember when I was little blistering up here. Also, people don't understand, too, that Colorado is probably the #1 state of skin cancer. Mainly because of the high altitudes there, and then Florida is the second one.
Well, that
and
makes
I grew up in Florida.
Colorado is kind of, I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah.
But okay.
So very high altitudes, and then
year-round sun. Yeah.
And if you've ever received radiation treatments, which I have not. So when like I don't know. I go and do, I'm a big chemical peel person, and it's not for vanity, but it's because it takes off it peels off the bad layers of skin. So I usually stay very regular with my, at least twice a year, try to do it a little bit more if I can. 180, Jana. She's awesome. But there's a lot of people that can do a skin a peel. So I go and get a peel done.
So that is proven to reduce your chances of it growing?
Well, I mean, the only places that I have had it on my face are places we don't peel, which would be the lips.
Why can't they peel the lips?
They can't. You know, I'm going to have to do that next time.
So they can do it.
Yeah, they
but
can.
It's just probably uncomfortable. And
well, it's just,
who wants to have flaky lips? Hey guys, do you want to come over for some wine drinking?
I don't know. You know, I need to ask her about that. That's a good question
I've
for
never
her.
had a chemical peel, but I am not against it.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. Once you get used to it, it doesn't hurt. So.
Oh, great! Once you get used to it,
it doesn't hurt. Nowadays, we're going to talk about a little bit about how this goes when you go to the doctor. So the process is. Doctor, usually a good doctor, will come in and he's got like a little light on. He's like, you know, and then he'll say, cut this, cut that. And so they'll cut. If they think it's something that needs attention, they do a biopsy.
Right.
And just like a little slight shaving biopsy, and they send it off to get it tested. If they think it's pre-cancer, then they burn it off.
Okay.
And yes, it hurts.
I bet it does.
It does. It stings a little bit.
It's quick though, right?
It's quick, and it gets rid of the pre-cancer, and then you watch that place to see if anything else develops after that. So they have it written in your file.
So if you have you had skin cancer taken off in however which way, in places where that are not normally exposed to the sun, like on your back or shoulders or anything like that, just places that were always exposed. Okay.
Yeah. That's it, for me.
And well, I think it's, it's scary because, like you said, your dad had it in his ear, which is like.
In his ear.
I mean, it's not really exposed to the sun directly a lot.
No.
So.
No, it's not. Well, and he
So it's
stays out in the sun. We like I said, we grew up in Florida. He's from Miami. He's always had a boat, tennis, always outside.
Always outside.
You know,
so it's just eventually enough of it.
He doesn't wear a hat. I mean, like, it didn't.
Right.
And so he's had it there. My mom on top of their head. It's kind of unusual for women to have it on top of the head. It's more bald head guys. But because I have very fine, thin blonde hair, my mom does as well. That's how come we got it on top of our head.
Yeah.
So at the doctor's appointment, then they'll send off the biopsy and let you know if it's pre-cancer. If not, they do a freezing thing, and then it turns black, and within a week it falls off. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So for someone like you who's had a history with it, how often do you have to go get checked? Do you go twice a year?
6 months. 6 months.
Every 6 months you go get checked. And when was the first time you had it? Like how long ago was that?
Well, I've had a lot of stuff frozen for years, and then my first time where I had squamous and basal was about 4 years ago on both. I had a back-to-back 6 months, 6 months.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so how did that make you feel? Were you reassured that this was going to be contained and taken care of, or you knew?
It's a little scary, because especially on the head. If I don't read, another thing I do, because if I read something like if I go online and read more about it, then that just scares the shit out of me.
I think everybody feels that
so
way.
I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not going to read anything about that. I remember about 20 years ago, my finger was hurting, and I read something. I'm like, oh my God, I've got finger cancer.
Finger.
I have it. I have that. I know it. That's true. I have that. I mean, when Wells was born, his head was really big, and I looked up big headed babies, you know.
Like,
and
what does it mean?
what does it mean? Sorry, Wells. And it's like they could have a brain tumor. Like, oh my God, Wells has got a brain tumor. He's got a brain tumor.
He seems fine.
He does. He's perfectly normal. But that's why I don't go in and read stuff because I know with squamous it can grow underneath and it can cause brain cancer. So I try not to
grow beneath the layers of the skin.
Yes. So
this has gotten so complicated.
It is. I'm just telling you, there's a lot to go on, so you do need to go get checked by somebody good. And so that is a little bit scary to me. And so I'm always like this. And
yeah.
So.
So how do you protect your head other than a hat? Can you spray like sunscreen on it?
I don't. I just wear hats.
Yeah, just cover it up.
And you'll see me too. When I'm outside, if I don't have a hat on, and I'm talking to somebody in like Kroger parking lot, I start to get like,
Nancy, there's too much sun.
I gotta go. I'm melting.
You need a little like meter that starts beeping like beep 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 beep.
And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. A lot of times I'll say I don't mean to be rude, but I got to get in from the sun.
And then it can have a little.
Well, you can feel it too. It kind of like feels a little weird, and it will hurt.
Okay,
so,
tender.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
So if you feel that, but
did you have pictures you wanted to?
Yeah, I do.
Show the
and also
camera.
I was gonna have. So the freezing thing, yes, it hurts, but let them do it. My brother has a rule: no more than 3 spots at a time because it does sting quite a bit.
Oh.
But I'm like, no, take that.
Do it all.
Just take it off. So but then, okay. So then once you're diagnosed with a squamous or whatever, which I was, and my husband was too. So actually we're having surgeries together.
It's like
it's
a
so
skin
cute.
cancer party.
It is. It's so cute. Then my doctor in particular calls for a blue light, which this is the second time I've had a blue light. So what a blue light does, it's very interesting. And like when they tell you not to go out in the sun, listen to them because I just don't follow rules really well. And I kind of went out, I hurt. So we had to go back to Tallahassee. That's where I go to my skin cancer doctor. And they put this stuff like a chemical peel on your face. You go away for 2 hours. You come back to the doctor's office. And they put you under a blue light for 13 minutes 45 seconds, some really random number.
Right.
Yeah, and you got these little glasses on, and during that time, because I've had chemical peels, it did not hurt me as bad, but it did hurt my husband. It feels like a bunch of ants. Ants are crawling all over your face.
It's some sort of light that's activating something in the gel.
And it's supposed to peel off more layers of your skin, so when they go for surgery, they don't have to cut as deep.
That they have to do.
So,
wow. So then your face did peel several days later, right?
Yeah, mine didn't peel very bad. Kurt's peeled a lot more, and it turns it really red and stuff.
Probably because he hasn't had chemical peels.
Right. And they do a tattoo, and so they also will do a tiny little tattoo before they do the blue light, so that they know where the skin cancer was in case the blue light takes away all of the layers. So I have a little tiny black dot. I don't even see. It might have taken it all off. I don't know, but I think it's still there. Kurt's you can see.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's, if you don't have a doctor who does that, ask about it, because I don't know if anybody around here does a blue light.
Covered by insurance?
It is.
So the doctor would probably have to determine that you need that service first. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of information.
Well, it is a lot of
information. Know because
information.
it's scary. And I think, we live in a time where cancer is prevalent, and any preventative care or steps that you can take to make sure you get ahead of it is important.
That's going to your dermatologist. It is. It's very it can be it's very scary, and it can be intimidating a little bit by going to the doctor.
Sure.
It is so. But a lot of people don't offer that blue light, and just make sure that that they know what they're doing. So then the next step is you wait until you kind of recover from the blue light. I will say this: they tell you not to leave your house for 72 hours because the sun will light you up when you get back in it after your blue light. So so I decided that about 28 hours after I was going to drive back to Auburn, and the sun was going down. It was literally going down. It was like 8:40 at night. We get in the car, and it lit me. Yes, it does hurt. It lit me
You
up.
just burst into flames.
Yeah, you're just you're burning on fire. So you might want to listen to the doctor.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Might be a good idea.
So we came back. So we did not. After that, we stayed in the house until Sunday.
lights
and
off.
The best son in the world came over and walked my dogs. Thank you,
Aw.
Wells, for that, because I couldn't leave the house. So
How often does Wells go to the doctor? Because he's got his mama's skin.
he does. He's gonna have to start needing to go. Actually, yeah, and Holt too as well.
Yeah, you're right. Holt's
so-
pretty fair.
Yeah.
I did go. I do go regularly because I've had several moles taken off.
Yeah.
None that I've ever coming back. But I've had moles all my whole life, and they're really dark. So when you show these pictures, it's if you have dark moles, don't be alarmed right away. But
Yeah.
anyway. I've gone for a long time, and last summer I took my oldest son, who was 11 or 12, or, sorry, 10 then, and I asked the doctor, is this the appropriate age to start bringing them? And he said yes. So around 10 or 11, if you're wanting to know when to maybe start taking your kids, especially if they're fair skinned or have lots of moles or something like that, definitely before adolescence. So
an interesting fact. Now, my skin cancer doctor is like one of the best in the Southeast, or probably the best in the Southeast, one of them. And he's freaking brilliant. But he says that one of the places that people don't know and they get cancer, and he's actually had one patient die from this, is on the top of your feet.
you mean the bottom of your feet?
Top and bottom, because when you're at the beach.
Yes.
And you don't put sunscreen on top of your feet,
Yeah, you
and
don't
your
think
feet
about
get
it.
sunburned,
They're
and even the
constantly-
bottoms too.
Right. Well, that's one thing I remember them saying. They're like, when you go home and check, or in between appointments, and you check the bottom of your feet.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the weirdest thing. But I guess, obviously it can happen in your ear. It can happen anywhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, the top of your feet, they're exposed all summer long. We're
Yeah.
always in flip-flops, so you're in a boot. But
Yeah. I'm in a boot, and that's why I'm standing up, because if I sit down, it just is like, I don't
so it's
know.
actually more comfortable to stand on it.
Well, I'm not really standing. I'm using one hip. Like I don't know. Nothing is comfortable right now.
Yeah,
but
you're just
I'm
got
sucking
a
it up
lot
because I'm a
going
pass.
on.
I'm extra.
She needs lots of prayers.
Oh, okay. And then to finish this segment of it up before I forget, so Monday we'll go back to the doctor, and they'll do a procedure called Mohs.
How do you spell it?
And
Is that MOAZ?
what are you telling me?
Yeah, 14 minutes.
14 minutes? Why? Is this going to go out on battery?
In 14 minutes.
Oh my gosh. That's okay. I'll get it over in 14 minutes.
Wrap it
So Mohs procedure, and what's awesome about where I go is so if you don't have a person that does Mohs, they'll just cut it out and they'll send it to the lab. And if your margins aren't clear, guess what? You're coming back. They're going to reopen you back up again and keep on taking it out. So you want to go to somebody who does Mohs, where they have their own lab in the doctor's
yeah, that
office.
sounds like it would
You're
be
sitting
important.
there all
Yeah.
doped up already, and then they send it back, and then every 20 minutes they'll come back and like, oh no, we haven't cleared the margins, we're back in it again. So that's why we do Mohs, and that's what that procedure is about. And then once they get finished with the Mohs, then you go to the plastic surgeon after that, and he sews you back up again. I'm very lucky. I have a very good plastic surgeon down there.
Are they like in the same house, like under?
It depends on what day you go.
Okay.
We'll probably have to drive to the plastic surgeon after we do that, and then he'll work on this there. So-
Okay, so you're going on Monday to do all of this. And how long does it take for them? Because how big of a spot are you having off on your top lip?
Well, I don't
what-
know until I dig into how
Okay.
deep it is.
Okay. So you don't know how long that will take. It could take what? What do you say? What do you think? An hour?
Well, we have to be there like 6 a.m, so it's not that long as long as everything flows.
Do you guys get to sit by side by
hope
side
not.
and
I
hold
hope not,
hands?
because I would.
Where's Kurt
is
have
near?
it?
Kurt's is up here.
Oh.
So
Is it just the one place that he
Yes.
has it? Okay.
But now he had a lot cut off too as well. He had a lot burned off too, and he's very fair.
Has he always had a
Gosh,
history
if we had
too?
babies together, they'd be like the
Oh my
whitest
gosh, like
mayonnaise
see-through
children.
kids. Whitest mayonnaise.
They would be like Casper Hellman's something. I couldn't. That would be not good. So anyway,
that's
thank
funny.
God we didn't do that. All right. I think that's it. and I'll keep you guys in tune with how it's going to go. The recovery on a lip is a little bit longer, and it sucks a little bit because they stick a needle right there.
Oh.
But that's okay.
I would tell them put me to sleep. I don't want to be awake for any of that.
Wait, they can't put you to sleep.
Why?
They're just gonna they stick a needle right there. It really.
That's what I'm saying. Put me to sleep. I don't want to feel the needle. I want to see it.
I did ask for laughing
all of
gas,
it.
and like, Amy, we're not at the dentist. Okay, we're not there. Okay, I'm going to show you some stuff, real quick, and I hope it does scare you. I really do. That's kind of my job. So squamous cell is kind of flaky. It's almost like a scab. And it should be, it kind of now, I know what it is. I'm like, oh, this isn't good,
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to come like up a little bit close, but it will bleed a little bit if you pick at it. And it will definitely re-scab over and over and over again.
It doesn't heal.
It does not heal.
So these are pictures from WebMD. These aren't pictures off from Amy's scalp or anything like that.
The one this morning was off my scalp.
You can find these pictures yourself if you want to take a closer look.
So,
but
yeah, and they say with the squamous, it's nose, foreheads, ears, lips. I mean, they did do my ears too. Lower lip, exposed body. Like they didn't say the head, but that's where I had my squamous, and that's where my mom had their squamous. So as I limp over here with my sexiness, so squamous, can you see that, Wells? I mean, do I need to get closer?
No, that's fun.
it's
Is that
blurry.
good?
That's good.
So it's like
Back it a
red.
little bit.
Back it up. Back it up.
Neat.
So it's kind of like a red, crusty little thing, and mainly just if something keeps on, you're picking at it, and it keeps on like little bleeding. Why are you laughing? Why? Do you think this is funny?
No,
He's serious.
This could be
Wells.
you. So just remember,
Not like that,
if
that's
it doesn't,
gross.
if it doesn't,
How about you?
why with my leg?
No, it's because like your face was like right.
It's gonna be
right.
close up.
Awesome. So anyway, that is squamous. I can't wait to see myself on that. Also, and I'm not going to show. Well, I will show you this too. Know your borders on your like areas. Like borders, like if it's perfectly round, you're probably okay. When you start getting, and that way they described it with me is if it starts growing legs, or if it's not perfectly round and it looks more like an omelet, then you need to start getting a little bit worried. So, yeah. So this is more of a this is like where it's like kind of growing. That is. Can you see it?
Yes.
And can you see my
Shut
butt?
up, point
do I have
to-
like boogers on my nose or something? Why are you
One
laughing?
of the like what would have been the
So-
original.
The original is like right here, and then all
Over
this is like around it. So if it starts growing and spreading a little bit, go to your doctor. Okay. All right. Am I answering good questions?
I think you're doing great.
That's not my favorite topic, but
It's a school project.
Oh, I know.
it's like I've got some really gross pictures in here.
Yeah, you can look them up yourselves.
But ear, I mean, you could.
There's a bottom of the
there's a
foot.
bunch. There's a bottom of a foot in here.
That's just
I
scary.
didn't even bring in the melanoma stuff because that's not something I'm as familiar with as I am with the other ones. But if it itches, that's a sign too as well.
So irritation and sensitivity,
Yeah.
discoloration or crusty.
and if it's kind of like growing. I mean,
Yeah.
especially with,
Changing shapes
Yeah.
and stuff.
so. That's your lesson on all that.
Well, we are thinking about you, Amy.
So funny. So funny.
You're
Okay,
right here.
So,
And I will be thinking about you on Monday.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
I know. I'm not even gonna.
How
say.
much time do we have,
I
Wells?
appreciate everybody.
I was hoping I had a special delivery here by now, but we might have to do it on the phone or
a
like
special
on.
delivery.
Yes, just for you. We might have to, if we're running out of battery on this thing, why don't you guys have backups
It's not
or?
battery. It's memory.
Oh, it's memory.
Oh.
Oh, I see. Well, we're not.
I thought
important.
technology was like good now, so you can like have lots of memory. He's like,
All right. Well, our special gift is not going to make it today. That's okay though. But most importantly, you guys, was my PSA about
that was a good PSA.
skin cancer, and I hope I brought you some bit of form, something that would scare you enough to go to the doctor, and 9 times out of 10 they can take care of it. Okay, just go to the doctor. And on that note, peace out. And we're having an awesome guest on Friday on our podcast, and I can't wait.
You're gonna keep it a surprise, or are you
I am going to keep it a surprise because I'm too dumb for this guest. This guest is super smart.
Oh boy.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do some research on this.
Can we have them drink wine and us and not drink wine, and then
we
we'll
didn't even drink wine today. So but that's because I have to drive with a cast on. Speaking of that, did you guys know that if you well, actually, I probably shouldn't tell that out loud.
No?
That I'm driving.
Don't
around
put
with
it.
a cast
Okay.
on. But did you know that if you drive with a cast on and you are in any kind of accident, and it couldn't even be your fault, but you're still going to be responsible. So
That's not fair.
it sucks, doesn't it?
It's not fair.
No,
How is
'cause
that
this isn't like my clutch foot.
You're gonna rip that cast off real quick if you get in an
So
accident.
that's my backup plan.
So
is
that this
I
accident
have a
caused my broken foot.
blanket.
Now I need to. Oh, look! I have a boot in my back. Perfect timing.
I have a blanket in the back. See,
Yeah.
that if this happens to me, I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna rip it off. And I'm gonna shove it under
I
the
would.
blanket, and I'm gonna pretend like I'm a hippie with no shoes on. Pretend. That's really gonna be
Pretend.
hard. That's gonna be super hard. So the next question, and I'll go ahead and answer this, is like, Amy, how'd you break your foot? I was not chasing Bon Jovi or Johnny Depp. I wasn't. I really would. I mean, I would break my foot for that,
I
but
think
I
that'd be
didn't.
worth it.
I was just merely going down. I should have taken, because I'm always in a hurry because I've got shit to do all the time, or I think I do. I took the road less traveled, which was down somebody's steeper hill in front of their yard, and I went bloop. I mean, it plooped.
It took you down.
Just took me down, and so
Ouch.
I go home. Well, there's a longer story than that. I'm not going to get into it, but I did throw away the shoes. Little bitches, I threw them away. Threw them away, and they
Bad
were
shoes.
leopard bad
Bad
shoes.
shoes.
And
Oh.
I get home, my husband's like, "No, that's not a break. That's just a sprain. You just
It
sprained
was bright purple, like
Thank you. You should
that
see
color.
it now.
and that color
It's
mixed
the
together.
whole entire foot now. But
Oh, it's painful.
don't let that get you down. I went to a trainer today. I'm
Ooh.
on it. Gonna keep it going.
Good
yeah.
for you.
So 6 weeks to 12 weeks.
That's a long time.
It's a long time. Me and this boot. I don't
Ugh.
like it.
I
Anyway,
hate it for you.
Wells is itching his head, and apparently we're boring him. So we're out of
He
here.
legitimately, I started laughing because he legitimately went.
Yeah. We got the.
His eyes like crossed and his head
got
went
the
down.
major eye roll.
It's time for his afternoon nap.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, he's probably
Nappy.
going to Chick-fil-A, or he needs some kind of ice cream or something like
He needs
that.
ice cream.
Oh, he needs a sandwich.
I just need to see.
A
Oh, you
Sammy?
just ate a sandwich. Oh, he's got that afternoon siesta. He
Yeah.
should have you know what? You were born in the wrong family in the wrong country where you need to go have a nap every afternoon.
Spanish.
No, I'm pretty sure America's the best country.
Oh, nice.
there we
nice.
go.
All right, you guys.
Okay.
God bless America.
Oh,
We'll see you later. See you on Friday. Peace out. Have a good week. Bye.
oh.
Oh, I talked
That was
a lot. I
great.
talked a lot on that one. But
No, I think that was really good.
You did.